I'll remember it. I'll remember everything from this franchise. The good, the bad, well, mostly the good. Hey guys, this is Frozen Wish Stews here, and welcome back to another movie review. And today I am going to be doing a review on The Hobbit, The Battle of the Five Armies. So, The Hobbit, The Battle of the Five Armies is the third installment in the Hobbit trilogy, as well as the final Middle Earth film that Peter Jackson has directed. This film serves as a bridgeway to the Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, like finally putting this entire prequel to full circle. And it came out in the year 2014 and is directed by Peter Jackson, and it stars Martin Freeman, Richard Armitage, Ian McKellen, Orlando Bloom, Evangeline Lilly, Luke Evans, Lee Pace, Benedict Cumberbatch, Ken Stott, Aidan Turner, Dino Gorman, Billy Connolly, Graham McTavish, James Nesbitt, Stephen Fry, Ryan Gage, Kate Blanchett, Ian Holm, Christopher Lee, Hugo Weaving, etc. And so the film tells a story taking place just immediately, emphasis on immediately after the events of the Destination Smaug, where Smaug invades Lake Town, just what the ending of the previous film set up. And everyone is trying to survive the attack. But as a surprise, Smaug actually dies. All thanks to Bard for killing Smaug. But Smaug's but the victory of Bard and Smaug's death is definitely not the end of it. After Smaug's fall, Bilbo and the dwarves try to defend Erebor's mountain of treasure from others who claim it, like the men of the ruined Lake Town and the elves of Mirkwood. But then Thorin becomes very greedy and wants to take the Arkham Stone by himself. The Arkham Stone has made him change, and now he's like someone who shows no compassion for anyone later and just wants the riches for himself. And he cares more about that than the hometown. And this causes the dwarves to turn on him, and as there is a massive feud between the dwarves and people of Lake Town, led by King Thranduil and Bard. Bilbo even goes as far as secretly siding with Lake Town to expose Thorin's actions and be able to help them behind Thorin's back. But then comes the army of orcs led by Azog the Defiler, marching on Erebor, fueled by the rise of the Dark Lord Sauron. Dwarves, elves, and men must unite, and the hope for Middle Earth falls into Bilbo's hands as they must battle the five armies. So that hence the title. So I'm sure. Now, I'm sure you guys have heard that, if you guys have constantly watched my reviews of the Middle Earth films in preparation for the Lord of the Rings, the War of the Rohirrim. Well, you probably would know by now that this was the first. This was the first film in the Middle Earth film that I have seen in cinemas, and quite possibly the only Middle Earth film I've seen in cinemas. Well, until tomorrow when I go see The Lord of the Rings, The War of the Rohirrim. So it's been a fun journey, revisiting and finally reviewing this trilogy, this franchise. I've actually always wanted to review this for a very long time. I have reviewed the Hobbit trilogy before, but just not in a proper way. And I've always have had bumps in my schedule, which is why I was not able to review the Hobbit trilogy, but I'm just really glad that I'm finally able to talk about this franchise, because this truly is one of the best franchises ever, right up there with the Frozen franchise and the MCU. Now, I'm sure if you guys have seen my review of The Hobbit, the Desolation of Smaug, you probably know how much I absolutely adore that film. I even would put it ranking among my top three favorite Middle Earth films in general because it's just that good. Yeah, it's absolutely yeah. It's pretty much the Empire Strikes Back of Middle Earth. Not because it's as good as Empire Strikes Back, but because it pretty much delivers a what everything a middle chapter should be, and ending on the middle itis like it's no Empire Strikes Back or even Across the Spider-Verse, but I'm call me one of the biggest fans of Desolation of Smaug. And sure, yeah. So the first film, An Unexpected Journey, is the weakest Middle Earth film, and I no nothing can, no one can change my mind on that. But it's still a great film, and yeah, there's not a single film that there's no Middle Earth film that I don't love. So with Battle of the Five Armies, yeah, I'm sure this movie had so much hype. As you know, this film has probably among the greatest trailers in the Middle Earth. Sure, yes. That trailer for the Return of the King is amazing and probably the best trailer, like pretty much the best old trailer, like quote unquote old. But these trailers for the Battle of the Five Armies, now yes, I was not really that interested in seeing these Hobbit films back then. I thought that these Hobbit films they weren't gonna be my cup of tea, despite already aware of their existence. But yeah, but this film really like made me interested. Actually, now interested in the Hobbit films. Yeah, because of how good these trailers are. Yeah, that first teaser trailer. Yeah, with that the first teaser trailer with Pippin song. Oh man, that was so beautiful. But then you got that second trailer, which was just the definition of epic. In fact, I'm actually debating on which I think is the best trailer for Middle Earth. The second trailer for Battle of the Five Armies, or the trailer the trailer for War Through Here, the American trailer to be specific. Yeah. And yes, I am a defender of that. I am a defender of that trailer for War Through Here, but oh well. Yeah. One of the best trailers of the year. But unfortunately, when the movie came out, yeah, I mean, we were hoping for for this to be the Revenge of the Sith of Hobbit. But yeah, unfortunately, yeah, people were massively disappointed with this when it came out, and people not only call this the weakest Middle Earth film, but also the biggest dud of the Middle Earth. Yes, the Hobbit trilogy has been divisive, has divided people, but this one, yeah, a lot of people were hating on this one, and some even go as far as calling this the only bad Middle Earth film, and let alone just straight up hating it. Yeah, and it's really sad to see. Yeah, sure. I will say that yes, the 2 hours and 24 minute runtime would have sounded quite concerning because it definitely was too short. Even me, when I saw that this movie's runtime was 2 hours and 24 minutes, I was actually shocked to see it being that short. I was like, damn, like really that short? Yeah. So, but it did not stop me from just really wanting to watch this one, and yeah. So now if you guys remember my initial review of this film, I praised this as the best Hobbit film ever made, and one of the best films in the Middle Earth saga. But I will admit that on rewatch, I gotta say, yeah, admittedly I did overpraise this film, calling it the best Hobbit film. But it doesn't change the fact that The Hobbit, The Battle of the Five Armies is still an underrated gem that does not nearly deserve any of the hate it gets. I will always defend this film till the day I die. I've always considered this as the most underrated movie of 2014 from the very beginning, and it still is the most underrated movie of 2014. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if I would call this the best movie December 2024. I'm surely there's a better movie that came out this month than that, but I can't really point a finger at it, but I mean, it is a far better blockbuster of December 2014 than Ridley Scott's dud that was Exodus, Gods and Kings, which is my least favorite Ridley Scott film. Now, yes, I don't think that this is a flawless film, though. As much as I can praise this, I don't think it's a masterpiece. I think I want to get my flaw out of the way first before I can say all things good about this film. My one minor flaw with the film that prevents this from being one of the best Middle Earth films, and let alone even topping Desolation Smog was the best one, is as the best Hobbit film, is the ending. Yeah, I was not a fan of the ending at all. And I think, and a lot of people do agree with me that the ending was very problematic. For a conclusion to this prequel trilogy that ties into Lord of the Rings, the ending fell flat and it was rushed. There was no emotional weight to the ending since it just ends. Yeah, basically the ending was just Bilbo returning to his Hobbit hole, and it feels like it just went back to ground zero, and then we saw like Bilbo's house like being sold, and there was like an auction for it, something like that. But then Bilbo gets pissed, and then apparently everyone in the town thought he was dead. Even though I'm sure somebody saw Bilbo leaving, and then they would have reported that Bilbo left the town, but no, they didn't say they just thought that he's dead, and they even had to make him like prove that he's real with ID and some shit like that. Yeah, and then when Bilbo just goes into his house, gets his house back, he just turns it, he just sits there, and then we see Ian Holmes Bilbo, and then it just ends like nothing. Like Return of the King has some of the most emotional and impactful endings I've ever seen, but I mean, this film basically wanted to recapture like the impact and the epicness that Return of the King had. But it could have also recaptured the emotional weight of the ending, but no. Now, yes, the theatrical edition, the theatrical cut also is problematic due to how short it is, how short of a runtime it is, and you can clearly feel it being too short. But I thought that, and on reflection, yes, it wasn't a problem was a problem like that. But I was hoping that the extended edition should have provided far more to that ending in order to make it a lot far more emotionally impactful. But no, they did not add anything else. Yeah, most of the deleted scenes that they displayed in the extended cut were basically just more action set pieces, like more things in the first act which you don't need, and all that stuff. But I will say, yes, I agree with everyone else that the extended cut is slightly better than the theatrical cut, but not enough for me to call it a masterpiece. But besides that lackluster ending, I love the rest of the film, and it was certainly a near perfect film. Since this is the third and final installment in the Middle Earth trilogy, yes, it does recapture that grand scale that Return of the King had, like what I just said. Now, did I succeed at capturing Return of the King's level? Well, in terms of just making a perfect movie that could be in the award conversation for Best Picture, no, it does not even come close to Return of the King. But as an action film with non-stop big battles that you'd come to expect in the finale, it almost succeeded, almost recaptured that moment. The only thing that sets it apart, the only thing that sets apart the big battles between Return of the King and the Battle of Five Armies is that this film had no scene like Eowyn stabbing the Black Witch King, and the charge of the Blackgate. Both scenes, especially the latter, are absolutely undefeatable. You cannot recapture those moments again. Some of the greatest moments ever put to film, period. But this film did have one scene that makes me want to like raise my fist in the air and cheer, and that was out when Thorin changes his mind. More in Thorin's arc later, and then we see like the dwarves like blowing the horns and running after the orcs like and like joining in the battle. Now that was a moment right there. That is an amazing moment, and it makes me want to applaud. Smaug invading Lake Town is not only my favorite scene in this film, but without question, the best opening scene in the Middle Earth franchise. Yeah, I mean, I adore the Return of the King's opening with origins, showing the origin story of Smeagol and how he turned into like that demon looking creature fetish whatever. But when the very first scene of this film, of a Middle Earth film, is a high stakes action sequence, you know it's going to be something. And yeah, that action scene, that opening scene, yeah, best opening scene in the franchise, and I am not going to hear any arguments on that. Yeah, I mean, seeing Smaug just burn Lake down to the ground. Seeing like everyone in danger. That is really brute. That is really terrifying. You can truly feel the peril of the scene. And then there is that the guy who runs Lake Town, the mayor of it. He only cares about the gold more than people. He even admits like right out of his mouth that he actually does not care if people suffer and die, because he only wants to make sure his shit is saved. And he even when Alfred, another asshole in the film, well, I'll get to in a bit. Even when Alfred said, "Oh, we need to we need to unload some stuff to make the boat less heavy." Oh, guess what? That mayor, he chooses to sacrifice Alfred over the treasures. Yeah, what a great quote unquote friend he has. Yeah, what an asshole. And yeah, I know people criticize Alfred for being in the film way too much, but I think it doesn't matter. Now, yes, I don't like love Alfred, definitely. I think he is one of the worst characters in the Middle Earth, maybe even the weakest one, but I didn't think that him getting as that much screen time is a big deal, because we did get to see how unlikable Alfred is and how much of a jerk he is, and he did serve a purpose to the story. Like he served a purpose to it. So there's that. Oh, and also there's a Bard killing Smaug. I know people hate the fact that Smaug was instantly killed off at the very beginning, but I honestly defend that decision to kill off Smaug. That was a great way to subvert expectations, and there's still other stories to tell other than the Wrath of Smaug. We didn't need to see Smaug 24/7, like him just invading it 24/7. And also the trailers of this film did give hints at the fact that Smaug was going to be in this film for long. Like, yes, there were snippets of Smaug burning Lakeville, but most of the trailer, you can clearly tell that the conflict is dwarves versus orc, and Azog was the big bad of the film, let alone the entire trilogy. So there could have been some speculation. Some people would have easily tell that Smaug was going to die very quickly. So yeah. I think Smaug, like being in the film, like getting more screen time in the film, would have like affected some opportunities for certain plot points to be told. Yeah, I can, and yes, and at least we still got that 1 hour epic showdown that may not be as epic as Return of the King, but it's just as epic as you'd want it to be. Want it to be. Sure, I can see how the action is commonly criticized for being so over the top, especially with Legolas defying the laws of gravity, like in that scene where like this bridge broke, but then Legolas just jumps on the breaking walls, and yeah, that was something. But I didn't think that was a problem at all, though. I mean, I didn't think that it was like too goofy. I think, and is it ridiculous? Yes, but does it bother me? No. Yeah, but besides the massive epic action and set pieces, there's still room to breathe and build up to those epic moments in the first 1 hour. Bilbo and Thorin once again have very complex character arcs. Thorin has become unlikable, but for all the valid reasons, valid intentions that don't make me hate him. Even though he's unlikable, I don't actually hate him. He's way too obsessed with the Arkham Stone that he didn't want to share with the Lake Town who needed it for their homes to be safe. Thorin does eventually grow as a character as he realizes that he shouldn't treat the other dwarves like shit, and he needs to be a better leader. And you can easily buy into his redemption after nearly turning evil. And Bilbo was relatable in this film as someone who secretly took both sides in a feud and backstabbed one of the sides with lies. Just like how Bilbo in this film backstabbed Thorin's side by stealing the Arkham Stone, giving it to the elves and Gandalf, and making sure and pretending that he doesn't know shit about where the Arkham Stone went. Even though, although yes, he did find out that he took it, and yeah, and I would say yes, I'm actually glad that the incoming war did help motivate motivate Thorin to change and not be as evil, and not pretty much turn evil. The performances are as great as ever, with Martin Freeman and especially Richard Armitage giving their best performances yet. The film did a really great job with parts that tie into the Fellowship of the Ring, such as the reveal of Sauron and a foreshadow that Saruman was plotting to betray the Fellowship when he told the others to go and leave Sauron to him. Pretty much the Fellowship members, Gandalf, Galadriel, and Saruman versus Sauron's armies is one of my absolute favorite scenes in this entire film. And Kate Blanchett is incredible in that one moment. And with the Sauron saying, Saruman asking everyone to leave and saying, "Leave Sauron to me." Yeah, true Lord of the Rings fans know what's up with that. The visual effects are overhated. They look nowhere near as bad as people say they look. Sure, it doesn't look it's visually a step down from the last film, and it's visually a step down from the last film, but it doesn't hold a candle to the visuals from the trilogy, but it still looks good, I will say. Oh, and also I never got to mention this about the other Hobbit films, but I'll talk about it now. The Hobbit films' original scores from Howard Shore are still as great as the trilogy. I love how it combines the themes from Lord of the Rings to its own distinct music, which kind of sets it apart from the Lord of the Rings trilogy. So overall, while its ending does not see the landing, resulting in this film to not be the masterpiece that it could have been, The Hobbit, The Battle of the Five Armies is nonetheless an epic and vastly underrated conclusion to the Hobbit trilogy, and let alone Peter Jackson's Middle-earth saga, since this is the last one he'll ever direct. This is without question the most underrated movie of 2014. Certainly does not deserve a single ounce of hate it gets. So that's it, guys. I'm going to give The Hobbit, The Battle of the Five Armies a 4.5 stars out of 5. Great movie. So also for my review of The Hobbit, The Battle of the Five Armies, and my overall review marathon of the Lord of the Rings, of the Middle-earth saga in preparation for the Lord of the Rings, The War of Rohirrim. Now, yes, guys, I do have a change of plans to my movie watches, because I said that I was going to see Craven the Hunter today. I was going to see it first before Water Hear Him. But thankfully, now, due to some circumstances, I'm now going to be seeing The Lord of the Rings, The Warfare, hear him first before Craven the Hunter. So yeah. So yeah, what are your thoughts on the Hobbit, the Battle of the Five Armies? Would you agree with me that this movie is an underrated gem? Or are you with a majority that this is the weakest Hobbit film and weakest Middle Earth film in general? Who agrees with me that this is the most underrated movie of 2014? Comment down below, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and stay tuned for my review on The Lord of the Rings, The War of the Rohirrim. Oh, and also a certain rant video related to that new Lord of the Rings film that I'm going to be doing. So yeah, it had to be done. So yeah, bye guys.